2 weeks left. Yeah, it really goes by quickly, doesn't it? This weekend, I went over to dinner at my daughter's house. Now, one thing she's really big in is homemade things. And so she makes her own homemade jelly and stuff like that. My granddaughter actually makes homemade tortillas, and it was really well done. So we were there at dinner with the other set of grandparents. And so my daughter's in-law's mother, yeah, I think that's right, she's called Grammy. And I said, Grammy, why don't you post on social media about Juniper's tortillas? And she asked me why, and I said, so people will talk about it? Okay, anyway. Not a lot to talk about this week. First, I'd like to apologize to the Baltimores for not attending your discussion. What happened is my wife recently had back surgery. Now, there are two ways they actually seal your back. One could be through sutures, which is difficult because then you got to take all the staples out afterwards. So what a lot of doctors do is they actually use glue. Yes, they use crazy glue. The thing about the crazy glue is it tends to go into more crevices and stuff like that, so it forms a better seal. But of course, the risk you take is it's not as robust as the staple, so they can come out. And what ended up happening is my wife's wound opened up, and that morning I had to go take her over to the hospital to get looked at. Yeah, she's fine, but that blood and clear liquid ooze coming out and everything, yeah, that wasn't very palatable. Anyway, your homework. Oh, and for the Baltimores, if you did not know who you were named after, you were named after Charlie Baltimore. Charlie Baltimore was the super spy in the movie The Longest Goodnight, which actually was a pretty good movie. Anyway, for this week, you have your GE case. Now, the thing about the GE case is it's not hard, but in order to get a good grade, you have to be thorough. This is a case. I like cases, personally, because it gives you a chance to really analyze the situation, and it asks questions. Now, in a more advanced case, I would ask you, based on this information, what would you do? But it's basically about innovation. Here's the sad thing about GE. GE once had a product in 50% of the homes in the United States. 50% of the people own something made by GE. And so it's really sad that a once great company has fallen so hard. But once again, if you want to see why a company fails, it's because they lost their story. They stopped innovating. They became this monstrous infrastructure. And so in order to be innovative, you have to have a culture that supports innovation. And here's the fight that you always have, and it's what I talk about, the pendulums. That on one hand, if you have too much freedom, then everybody goes willy-nilly and it's all disorganized and inefficient. So you have to bring in some order. But if you bring in too much order, then it just starts choking everyone, and then you don't have innovation anymore. So you have to swing it back the other way. A lot actually works like that in society. People get all upset when the pendulum swings too far, but I'm like, hey, everybody calm down. Okay, you're right. The pendulum went too far. Let's try to swing it back a little bit. And so you're constantly doing this. Outside of that, nothing more to talk about a report. My wife's iPhone isn't working, which is a really big problem. That's right. This problem is dead serious. Okay, I'll see you all next week.